Welcome to the round table. I am Jennifer Eller, and with me today is my co-host. I don't have anything fun today.
That's okay.
I'm so
That's
sorry.
Just back to the normal boring stuff.
I know. I need to learn another language. I don't know. I about looked up something.
Another language, like in Spanish?
Last time in Spanish, I said, "Yeah, you're my amigos." I don't know another language. I didn't even know that one, so that was a stretch. So
I don't even know if that's really a Spanish word. I think
What'd
that's
they
an
say?
American word.
No, it's Spanish.
Is it?
His friend.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Okay, and so, and then Dan Smeltzer is our producer today. Hello, Dan. Welcome. And then our guests today are Mark and Cindy Marshall.
Yay.
Yay. All right. What is your favorite vacation that you've ever took together?
I kind of like going to Tennessee to houseboat trip. The
Is that where, like, Lake Cumberland? Is that
Yep,
Tennessee?
that's
Okay.
it. Yep,
Okay, yeah.
Are you a boater?
can be.
Really? Wow.
Good friend loaned me his boat, and we went down and did a houseboat and took a ski boat. Yeah,
Yeah. So did you ski?
kids did. I like running the boat,
Okay.
tubing.
Tubing. Yeah, that's the thing that us older people can do.
Yeah,
What? You're not a tuber?
I never have. I want
Can you ski,
Never have.
Oh, I have.
Jennifer? Can you snow ski?
Never have.
What do you do with your life?
I do
Have you never tried anything?
I thought we were boring.
You've never
Nope.
tried any of those things?
Nope.
No water
Nope.
sports, no
Nope.
snow sports.
I like to ride around in a boat, but I want to
That's
see
not
what's
a
there.
sport.
I like to be. If I'm going to be in water, it's got to be clear and a pool where I can see what's there. I don't want snakes swimming around me or stuffed seaweed touching me.
Seaweed. Okay.
In the lake.
Yeah, so now we know what to do with Jennifer. Take her out to the reservoir and throw her in.
Oh, Lord have mercy.
Yeah.
Okay.
Somebody take her out on a boat and throw her in. That would be one of those. Do you ever watch those videos? So, are you on any social media?
I'm not. She
Nothing. Are
is.
you on social media? So if I get on there, I learned this from Nick. Like if you like certain things, it's pretty much the only thing that comes
Yep.
up. So I liked these people feeding people like these hot chips, like the hottest chip in the world. They put it in their food and they sneak it in and these people are dying. Or the scare ones, like when they scare
Oh.
people. So now here's what we can do. For Life Church's TikTok, we can take Jennifer out to the reservoir and dump her in a batch of seaweed and everybody can laugh. Because you're going to be like, "Ah!" Is that not a great idea?
No, it's terrible.
No, that is a great idea. How many views would that get?
Yeah.
Probably a lot, but that's
Thousands.
terrible.
No, I think, okay, Dan,
Okay.
make it happen.
Cindy, what's your favorite vacation that you've ever took together?
I like to cruise. We used to cruise quite a bit. Yeah, we went with the Harrisons on cruises, and that's a crazy trip.
The Harrisons or the cruises?
Travis is
Or
a little.
Both.
Travis is a little wild,
Yes.
or Misty.
Both.
Both. Okay.
Yeah. We're
Did
good.
you watch Titanic? Is that what made you stop cruising?
No, the COVID.
Oh,
We haven't been. I mean, we just haven't went back since COVID. We went right before COVID, but
okay.
yeah. And we like kind of resorts that are,
Like all inclusive.
all inclusive. Yeah, that's a.
Yeah.
We could sit on the beach and just be happy.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
You're a beach guy?
Can be.
Wow. That surprises me. I hate the beach. That's
Yeah.
too much sand. It gets in too many orifices.
Well, you're not supposed to like.
Lay
No, I know.
wallow
You're
in it.
laying there,
Wallow
and it blows all over you, and you're like, you go to take a shower, and you're like, how did sand get there?
That's why they have outside showers.
Yeah, that's true.
Oh
the
my
food's
gosh.
good.
Okay. Are you Netflix watchers or do you like to watch movies? Or Hulu, or do you binge any shows? Or do you like movies?
Well, you know what? We are binging the Baxters right now.
I don't know what that is.
Karen Kingsbury.
Jennifer. What do you do with your life? I mean, you don't know the Baxters.
Yeah,
you don't know
Karen.
skiing. You don't know.
Hey, this is not about me. We're talking about them. Just leave me alone.
Jennifer, can somebody please culturize Jennifer?
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, that's what needs
You
to
haven't read a
happen.
Karen Kingsbury book? None?
See? Every woman has read Karen Kingsbury.
Well, not every woman. So now
Okay.
you know something.
There's one.
Somebody please help Jennifer.
I don't want to read that. I do like reading books, but I don't want to read
You
that.
should probably try Karen Kingsbury.
Yeah, she's a Christian writer.
Yeah.
But we are not movie watchers, and we are not Netflix watchers. Our kids are, but we are not. If we get into anything, it's, I don't know. Chicago Night is on Wednesday nights.
Chicago who?
Chicago Fire,
Oh.
Chicago
Got
Med,
it,
Chicago.
got it. The whole night is
We
Chicago.
don't stay. We're getting too old for
You're
TV.
not watching it.
He just watches it because I watch it.
Yeah.
He likes to watch. Tell him what you like.
RFD TV.
No.
To watch. We're not that. We had enough of that.
You don't watch. You don't know what RFD TV
What
is?
is that?
Oh my God.
He does watch it for the farm report, doesn't he?
The
Occasionally.
Farmer Network.
Oh, gosh,
Jennifer.
no.
Yes, your husband's in the farming business.
I know.
He probably watches RFD.
Probably
TV.
does. But
The concerts are just to die for.
the concerts.
The,
Look at him. He's over. Here.
That's bluegrass and that kind of stuff.
Oh, okay.
yeah,
That's
it's
okay.
real old.
Yeah, I'll
We
pass.
don't watch it, so.
Okay, your favorite restaurant. Where do you like to go eat?
Probably Texas Roadhouse.
I do know about that. I don't go there, but I do know the Texas
What's
Roadhouse.
your favorite restaurant?
I don't really know if I have a favorite. I mean, I love a lot of things downtown in Huntington. I like the Brick House and Wise Guys and Junk Ditch and
Junk who?
Junk Ditch.
Junk Ditch.
Junk Ditch.
Is that new?
Kind of.
2
Yours?
years.
2 years, probably.
Maybe.
Dan, what's yours?
Probably Outback Steakhouse.
Mark got to try P.F. Chang's the other day. That was over. He was out of his.
For anybody that's listening, he gave the
took one
thumbs
for
down.
that. He
Thumbs
took
down.
one for the team.
Sometimes you have to do that.
Did you
don't
order duck?
No.
Okay.
What did you? I just something plain, didn't you?
I think it was shrimp over the top of rice or something. I picked the shrimp out.
And it wasn't that. You picked the shrimp out and just ate the rice?
No.
He ate the
Ate
right.
the shrimp.
Oh, you picked the shrimp, just ate the shrimp. Yeah.
They had good green beans, though.
Are they fried green beans?
Yeah.
Oh, I like fried green beans.
P.F. Chang's.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's first time.
Yeah, I've never been there.
I got duck when I went there. I try to get the weirdest food. If I'm going out to eat, I'm eating the weirdest thing on the menu.
That's what I like about cruises. You know, they have
Really
that,
weird crap.
they serve all that. There's a lot of stuff I've eaten on a cruise I would have never had.
Octopus.
Yep.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah,
That's good
octopus.
stuff.
On every meal at night, they give you something that's odd. That, you know, like
Well, they have frog legs
or
and
Yeah.
oysters or
tongue. I didn't think I'd like that, but that's good.
Tongue? Yeah.
beef tongue.
Just the thought of it.
Yeah.
You know, what it's
It
like
didn't look
before
like a
you
tongue.
ate it.
Yeah.
I mean,
Hopefully
that's
it's
the
washed.
thing that goes through my mind is like, that sucker been licking its butthole, and then you turn around and you're going to eat it. It's like the dog that licks their butt and then licks your face.
Yes.
It's kind of like the same.
Yeah.
Or
thing.
your dog's out at the farm that eats the cow poop.
Oh, yeah, no, I mean, that,
Yeah.
yeah, that's for sure.
Oh yeah, Emma was telling us that the other day.
That the
So-
dog eats cow poop?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I mean, them dogs
Ugh,
never knew
nutritious.
anything other than living out there.
It's
so.
nutritious.
Yeah, that's right. It's good for them.
All right. So before you found Jesus, what are some things that you struggled with?
I don't know. I grew up here in the community, and you just worked, and I don't know that I really struggle with too many things. I mean, I experimented with alcohol, but didn't really struggle with
Was
too
it a
much.
good experiment?
Not really get sick and
Got in trouble.
got in trouble.
in
Yeah, I
trouble?
got
You grew up here, so you've lived here all your life.
Markle.
Okay. Yeah.
So how old were you during that time of the alcohol and
Oh, that was 15, 16, 17,
Kid.
18.
yeah. So did you grow up in a Christian home then? Was that something that was frowned upon or did your
my,
parents not
my
care?
parents were hardworking people. I had 3 sisters. They said, if you want to go to church, that's fine with us. we'll make sure you have clothes to go, but we're not going, and we don't need to go see all the hypocrites. Was there?
So did anybody in your family go to church then? Did any of your sisters go, or the whole family? Nobody went.
Went to vacation Bible school a few times when I was littler, and then I met her, and the first date was we went Christmas caroling with the church.
Whoa. That was your first date?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
She was like, I'm getting this sucker cleaned up.
Yep.
And you must have really liked her to go Christmas caroling.
Been together for 45 years.
Yeah. Well, I'm saying you probably
Wow.
did. Yeah. That's awesome. So what about you,
How,
Cindy?
did you
What-
meet in high school?
No, we lived in the same town, but she went to Norwell and I went to Huntington because
really?
the county line runs
Yeah,
through
right in the
Norwell.
middle.
Yeah, 3 blocks from each other, but
Wow.
yeah. He
Our
was on
dads
the
were
fire
on
department.
our dads were on the fire department together, and
They're like, you two need to hook up?
no,
Oh.
it was kind of a shock to everybody.
I didn't like
It
him.
was a shock to everybody. Why?
I didn't like him. He was cocky.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Or you were just confident.
Yeah, confident,
whatever you
overconfident,
wanna
yeah.
call it.
Confident.
So how old were you when you met then?
I'm older than him.
You really don't have to say if you don't want to.
No, he was.
I
We
was
started
I
dating
was
when you were
19.
and I was 21.
So then how did you meet then?
We'd known each other. Yeah, they were-
But
I
what made
didn't
you
like
want to
him.
get together then? If you
I-
didn't
don't
like
After
him,
you
know.
what
stopped
changed?
liking him.
I don't know. It was just one of those things.
It's one of
I
them
don't
things
know,
you,
it
when you
just-
know, you know.
And I
I
just
mean,
yeah.
we went together, started going
We went
together
to-
in
I know.
December. I asked her in February to get married, and October we were married.
Yes, that's the way it should go. I'm just trying to figure out how the whole Christmas caroling thing worked. So did you ask her out, and she's like, "Yeah, I'll go out with you as long as you Christmas
He
carol."
never asked me out.
You
She
what?
asked me out.
No, we went.
Whoa.
We went shopping for a
She's
gift
the-
for a friend of ours.
Oh, we had a mutual friend, and he wanted me to take her to
He's kinda set
Fort
us up.
Wayne to look for a guitar for this guy's wife. She played a guitar, so
You play guitar?
No, not anymore.
she just did.
That's the
no,
hidden
I
talents.
knew.
The hidden talents.
No gift in there.
Okay.
So he brought it back, and she asked me if I would like to go out. So I went. Then we had a company Christmas party a couple days later, and she went with that. And
Love
Then-
at first sight.
then it was hard to separate from there.
Went to his Christmas night to his folks' house. Well, you was out on a fire all night, wasn't you? House burnt out in Union Township, and we went to his parents' house. Then on Christmas night, his dad had drove down to the Don's truck stop and got me a great big owl necklace. One of those. They're about this big.
Didn't want her to feel left out.
Yeah.
What's the owl for?
We don't know, but
Oh.
it was just, I opened a gift that I wasn't expecting to get, and it was a kind of ugly beautiful.
Do you still have it?
Yes.
Oh, that's sweet.
Do you really?
That's sweet.
funny.
Yeah. So then
But-
what did you struggle with before you found Jesus?
I grew up in a Christian home, but we were kind of off and on. My mom is very, and still to this day, a good, giving Christian lady. Right now, she's struggling with her church because there are 12 people there, but it's a very hard thing where we were married and everything. It has just went down, but I struggled with confidence. I had a brother that was in trouble all the time and everything, so we didn't, we were kind of hid in the background a little bit. But we were, I think, confidence, and I could sit in a room and be inverted. I could read in a corner, and I'd be happy as a lark. I'm a reader, so. But, yeah.
Not great expectations.
No. Now I'm getting into Audible, so that's good.
Yes. Which is reading, right?
Yes, I think so.
Yeah. Huh. Isn't that funny?
It's
The first person that's actually
reading.
agreed with me.
It's not
Jennifer's
reading.
been on me because I listen to Audible books all the time.
No.
Yeah,
All the time. And Jennifer's like, "You're not reading them." I'm like, "I am reading them."
yeah.
You're listening. You're listening.
Everybody gets in my car and you start the engine. automatically hooks to my phone.
the books come
I've
on.
got to like I gotta shut it off. But I'm a book reader too. But I just got onto Audible because I was driving back and forth to work, and I needed something to calm me down.
Nothing better than reading books through Audible.
At night, I'll turn an Audible on. I used to read till all hours of the night on my Kindle. He's so there sleeping, he don't care.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So did I don't remember if you said that. Did you go to church as a kid then?
Yes, we did.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So did you accept Jesus as a child then?
I no. I was baptized at 12 because I had to be baptized at 12.
You had to be baptized?
It was the thing to do.
Catechism.
Okay.
No,
No?
it was just that's the grade you got baptized in, and I was later rededicated and gave my life. My relationship with God didn't start really growing until probably 2000, probably something like that, wasn't it?
Yep.
We went to the Church of the Brethren, and it was a very, you didn't know who the Holy Spirit was, and, it
We
was.
participated for 20 years.
Really?
We were good.
We were good.
Yeah, no, right. But you just went and checked it off, and
Got our card punched, and
yeah. Huh. Well, what was the switch then? Am I getting out of your question?
No, you're fine.
What was so you go for 20 years, because most people don't get out of that rut.
It was a pastor, yeah. It was go ahead.
in 2000, we were building a house over by Merkel, and our daughter, we had pulled in a house trailer to live in. It was terrible. I mean,
That was, $3,000 for that dude.
Yeah.
and our daughter went on a missions trip to Tijuana, Mexico. They stayed in L.A., went to the dumps of Mexico, and then at night they would go to L.A. to the homeless
Skid
people
Row.
and feed the people. And she come back all on fire about
16
that.
years old.
And she says, "I'll never complain about this house trailer again," because they were building these 8x8 shacks for people to live in at the dump.
Right.
And people would rummage through the trash to get food, and she went three times right in a row. I mean, she just was all about that. Well, that was a new pastor started doing that, and we started getting active then, and they had some groups, couples groups to get involved in, and discipleship class, and
And this is at the same, just so I make sure, you're at the same church.
yeah, but a new young pastor.
Oh, okay. So somebody just comes in and
Yeah.
switches it up.
Yeah.
Okay.
The
It's still
church,
denominational.
the
It's
church,
still-
the church was growing. I mean, they was talking like building on, and I mean, it was really on fire. And then our real testimony started in 2005. She had been having headaches, and she went to the eye doctor, and they give her new glasses. That didn't help. She had a tooth pulled. That didn't help. And sinus medicine, that didn't help. And that went on for, 6-8 months? And they scheduled an MRI at Kaler Nickel at Bluffton. And I never went to doctor's appointments, but for some reason that day I took her over to have the MRI. And she was first in the morning, and they did the MRI, and the nurse come out, and she says, "You can't leave the hospital until you talk to your family doctor. He's on the line over here." And I said, "This can't be good." So I went and talked to the doctor, and he said, "Go straight to Lutheran Hospital. There'll be a neurosurgeon waiting on you. They found something in the MRI that needs taken care of immediately." So this was on Friday. He says, "Don't stop at home, go straight there." So
Oh my gosh.
we go to Lutheran and go into,
We did stop at home, though.
well,
You're a rebel.
You didn't listen.
Well, I had my in-home home daycare. I had 10 kids at my in-home daycare that was with my mom. And I'm like, we got to stop and tell her we're going to Fort Wayne. Yeah, so it was like,
Wow.
So anyways, we get to
sorry.
Fort Wayne Neurology, and doctor comes right back, and I had the MRI in my hand. I handed it to him. They just give it to me at Bluffton. He puts it up in front of the light, and he says, "You got a brain tumor." And you can see this black spot. I mean, it just clears
About fist size.
right in the front. And he says, "But I can't really tell what kind it is, but you need to go to St. Joe Hospital and do another MRI yet this afternoon,
This was Friday afternoon.
and then be in my office first thing on Monday morning." So we did the MRI, went home, and I mean, it was just like the death sentence all weekend.
Right.
We go in Monday morning. Sure enough, he puts it up, and he said, "Yeah," he says, "we need to do radical surgery on Wednesday. Be here at 5:30 in the morning." So in the meantime, we belong to a couple of groups at church, and they was going to start the surgery at 7. I was with her in the back, and come out, there's 35, 40 people in the waiting room. And several of them were praying, and about 45 minutes in, she was calm as could be. I mean, it was just like there was a peace over her, and about 45 minutes, the nurse come out and says, "His doctor needs to see you." Oh, man, this can't be good. And I go back, and he says, "Got good news for you." He says, "It was just a cyst. We just drilled a hole in the side of her head and put a tube in it. It's going to drain down. They call it a shunt." And
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
And
a
that
miracle.
that was our God moment.
Wow.
And pretty much we were doing things, but that's when we really decided that we wanted to serve and give of our time and things. That's where our walk really began.
Wow.
We had been to the 3 weeks before, I had been to Brethren Way of Christ, which is like your Emmaus. He had been the week before I had to the men's. So we were very, a high, I don't know, mountain
Yeah.
high. We were on
Yeah.
a mountain high. And so we feel like that was a part of our faith too, because we had people praying all over. I was anointed on Sunday morning and prayed over, but it was just 2 cysts, and I've got a shunt that keeps me drained, so to this day.
To this day.
Yeah, I've got a shunt.
She's
that
had a headache one time, and we thought, well, it's plugged up or something. Went back and had an MRI, and nothing there.
yeah,
I mean, it's
still
gone.
in there. They couldn't take it out.
Oh, really?
The
Yeah.
sack's still there, but it's never
It
has.
was intertwined with the brain.
Oh, got it. So they just keep something in there to keep it
Yeah,
drained.
I've got a shunt that just drains down to my stomach.
Yeah.
So I can tell you when there's a bad snowstorm coming, but other than that, I'm.
Wow.
Whenever the barometric pressure changes, she can tell.
Yeah, they told
Really?
me I'd be like a.
Wow, that's amazing. Yeah, and so when you say it, like, so your faith journey started, was there any, like, bumps in the road then, or has it just all been
Oh, no,
Great
no,
sense.
there's
No.
been bumps. In our faith, probably not as much as our life.
okay?
You know, just different things. The trucking company, for one thing,
Right.
was a challenge, but just a lot of, I don't know, what would you say?
Well,
Well, we left the church. I guess I can say this. We had a pastor that had an affair at our home church. And it decimated it. I mean, it just,
Yeah.
And I just happened to be the chairman of the board when that happened. And we was on a couples retreat in Shipshawana, and we get a call from a guy back, "You guys need to be in church first thing on Sunday morning." It was
We drove back,
It
it
was
looked like a
ice storm
funeral
from
procession
Shipshewana
from
back to
Shipshewana.
Marple.
Icy morning. I mean, it was,
It was just like a funeral procession. All everybody headed back to,
Wow.
because we had to cut it short because we was going to be there half the day on Sunday.
Right.
And then she stood up and told her sin and walked out. And it's just like, so we tried to keep it going. And
had a lot of people that wanted to go backwards, that didn't want to move forward. We were
But then-
worshiping and praising, and they just wanted to go back to the hymns, to the repetition. Yeah.
Yeah, so talk through how you handled, because I think so this is an interesting thing I think for people is that, so you have people who have prayed and God has answered prayers, right? And things have happened and they're like, God is good. And that's the thing in their mind, right? Or you had people that have said, I've prayed and he didn't answer. And, it's kind of both ends where you've had both
Yeah.
pretty miraculously, right? So you have had, like you were saying, like, hey, this is a tumor and you need to get it right away, and ends up the healing and a miracle. And then you, like you said, a trucking company and other things that I'm sure that you prayed for that probably didn't turn out the way you thought that they should. So how did you handle that? Like, how have you handled your faith through both sides of it? He answered, and again, in our minds, we say he didn't answer, maybe he did, but
I don't think it really, our faith has never been shattered. Of course, you always say, okay, where are you, God, or where, but that was never a question we ever, in everything we went through, we didn't know that God wasn't with us. I didn't anyways.
I don't really think I did either. It's not supposed to be, or, it's, God doesn't have a hand in this. He wouldn't want it to go this way. So, I mean, I've never blamed him for anything. Actually, it's helped me in life. I can go sit with somebody at the hospital and I can pray with them and I can tell a story and walk alongside people and
right. Because you've been on both sides.
yes.
Yeah, so you'd say that it's helped grow your faith.
Yes.
Yeah.
I would say, yeah.
Yeah. And so what do you think some of those biggest challenges have been, so is it just like intermittent things? Or is it things inside of the church? Is it like, what has been the greatest challenge for you guys as believers and as a couple walking that journey?
When we walked out of our home church, that was a big thing.
Okay.
But we didn't, we went to another, oops, sorry. Oh,
Oh, no, you're good.
we went to a church the next Sunday. You always go to the next thing. And when we did that, you go into a church that you've not been to, and you're just like, oh my gosh, why am I even here? It's hard to find a church that you feel. I think that was probably our biggest struggle. We wanted to grow, and that's probably when I was the children's pastor at one of the churches here in Huntington. I just felt like I wasn't growing. We weren't growing, and that's why we. You think, we're not church jumpers. We spent 32 years at a church. And, we didn't want to be known for that, but we were looking for something. We spent then 10 years at another church. And you're just like, what is that,
Right.
I guess I'm just looking to
God's everywhere to me.
for God to speak to me. And I try to listen. And I've had things that happen that one morning I woke up and spoke to me, you need to go to Haiti. I went to church that Sunday. It was on Sunday morning, and Dr. Miller went there, and he had a organization in Haiti. And I says, hey, Doc, something told me this morning I need to go to Haiti. A month later, I told 3 or 4 guys in church, four of us
Wow.
went over to an orphanage, but I mean, in 2 weeks, the tickets were laying on the countertop, 4 tickets all paid for, didn't cost a penny. It was just taken care of. And then we went to Haiti, and I seen more demonic activity, and then I also seen the other side, the God-fearing people.
Right.
And we went to a church there. It had no instruments.
Bless you.
Listen,
You did that last time too.
I know, but you remember the whole thing. I can't hold him in because it's
Yeah.
blowing my guts
I
out.
know.
Sorry.
So, anyways, we went to this church on Sunday morning, and the people there was no music, instruments. It was just benches and dirt floor, and they started singing, and I've never in my life felt the Holy Spirit. I mean, the hair just stood up on the back of your, I mean, and just 2 days before that, I heard a woman screaming all night because her baby died. And our guide, I guess, told us the next morning that over there they tried to take the spirits away from their child before they bury it, the evil spirits. And that's what that was all about. But I mean, you couldn't even sleep. Just screaming, just.
So why? Why do you think that is? Why do you think that you've been in church all your life? 30 some years, 10 years. Why do you think that it is that in Haiti, the Holy Spirit felt more present than in all of the times that you've been in church?
Because I was away from everything else, and it was only connected to giving, a God thing, was in the Word.
Yeah. So pretty much dependent upon us, right? Like the Holy Spirit could raise our hair
Right.
if we were letting him.
I had a really, really good friend who he lost his wife to cancer, and we was pretty close to him, and he really struggled with that. And one morning I was awakened, and I could see her face. She'd passed, and probably was gone 2 months, and she was there, I swear it. And she said, "You need to go tell Randy and the boys to get on with life. I'm in heaven now, and it's a great place, but you need to get on with life." I go to work the next morning. 8 o'clock, the phone rings. It's Randy. He says, "Hey, I got to come to Fort Wayne." He says, "Is there any way we could do lunch today?"
Wow.
Yeah.
So we go to Halls, and we're sitting in there, and I says, "I don't know how much you believe, Randy." And I says, "I know you're pretty lonesome." He couldn't even drive 10 miles anywhere without somebody riding with him or the dog with him. He was that, needed somebody. I says, "I don't know if you're into God, but Linda come to me last night." I said, "I don't know if it was a dream or if it was a God thing, but I'm giving it to God." And she told me that you need to get on with your life. She's in heaven now. Everything's good. Within 2 months, this guy's married. I was at their house yesterday, and they got 18 years in.
Wow. That is so cool.
And she lost her husband to cancer. But it's just, I think when you're able to recognize that and you're not ashamed to stand up for God, I think you can approach people.
Yeah. And again, from him speaking, him revealing, like, you're open to those things.
I am.
And so that's part of what you're saying is the openness and connectivity that God's using you as a vessel to, do some of that stuff.
Yep.
Yeah, that's awesome. So in the midst of one of the things you guys talked about was wanting to find a place that you can grow. So what are some of the elements, whether they were in the church that you were in for 30 years, the church you're in for 10 years, or where you're at today? What have been things that have helped you guys grow in your faith?
I think probably the biggest thing, we went to we had a discipleship group that we spent 2 years with. It was a small group. We got together, and of course you had your books, but it was mainly biblical, but how to share your faith, and that was one of the things we did. I don't know. I think when we went to the other church, it was got pretty, I don't know what you call it, showing a lot of, what would you say, Eddie?
I don't know. I served as an elder at another church, and I got to see a lot of fruit that other people wouldn't see because you were praying for it. You were in contact with people that were in need, and you could see life-changing things happen. But also, you've seen all the crap that happened too.
That's part of leadership.
Right.
But we were able to, with another couple, start a young married group. And we had 10 couples, and they were all less than 5 years of marriage. And we met once a month with them and had cookouts and stuff, and just spent
Groundhog hunting.
just doing life together.
Right.
We did.
Right.
And
They're all still married.
they're all still married, and all of them seem to go to different churches.
Yeah.
But they're all seem to be serving, and
Right.
so there's some of them starting to come here.
What led you to do that? Like, why a young married couple? Did God speak to you? Or were you just like, hey, this is something I ought to do?
Us and another couple just talking one time, and it was just kind of brought up.
There was no expectations. We just got together and discussed life. If
Right.
they were anybody was struggling with something, that's what and the group just played. I mean, we'd play games. We lived in the country and had a groundhog, and the guys chased the groundhog.
That was a
down
wild.
just to kill it.
Yeah.
I mean, that's
Yeah.
something they'd never done.
They were out there, got a hose and a
Shovels.
shovel trying to get this groundhog out from them. So I went in the house, got the pistol, and come out and took care of it. But it was fun just to watch them guys. Never been around that stuff, trying to beat a groundhog.
Oh, yeah. Beat a groundhog with a hoe?
Yeah, out from underneath a propane tank.
I think that's hilarious. Yeah.
But we fed into them, but they fed into us as much as.
And they still do. I mean,
Yeah.
We had a death in the family, and every one of them showed up at the funeral.
Yeah.
You can tell them about last year.
When I had my stroke and Mark had his surgery and we lost Dad. One of a good friend of ours, it's terrible. It's not terrible to say. We have a lot of friends that we made at one church. Now they all go to different churches. I mean, every one of them's different churches. And it was probably about 3 weeks after your surgery. One of the ladies come to our house. They had heard we don't broadcast when we're down or
Right.
out. It's just not us. When he had his surgery, we just go and have it done, and they found out about it, and boy, they were mad at us. All of them was. She come in with a bag and 2 bags of candy from the candy shop, party shop. She stood there and visited with us in our kitchen, and the next thing was she said, "Okay, you enjoy this. I know you're not going to like it," and she said, "But you're going to take it." And I'm thinking, okay, there's candy here. We'll take it. We'll eat it. And she left. And we opened the bag up, took the candy out, and there was like $1,000 in gift cards in the bottom of places to go to eat.
Aw.
And, you know, to see that, it just,
I guess it would pay it forward.
I
Yeah.
don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, you just, we wasn't expecting it, but it was from like 8 different couples.
Yeah.
You know,
And-
God wanted to work through them to bless you, and that's hard
Well,
for
I
us to
know,
take the
but
blessing when
I
you want to be
know.
the one that does it, you know?
Yeah, that's why
and-
she said we wouldn't
Yeah.
want it, and but I mean, it's relationships like that we've built over the years that keeps. We know God is good, and He, you know, we want to do as much for Him as He does for us.
Yeah. I think that's the thing missing today is that older generations tend to have deep relationships. The younger generations tend to have relationships, but they're just not deep. You know, they're not those that, regardless of whatever's happening in life, that you can call upon each other, regardless of where they're at. You know, so I think that's cool to see that it's still possible to have relationships with people that are deep. You know,
Yeah.
and that you can have those people that, you know, when you call that they're gonna be there, and you know they're gonna be the ones to support. Yeah.
I mean, it's been a road, hasn't it?
Yep.
Yeah.
So how long have you guys been married?
45 years.
Okay, so if you could give marriage advice to, so you have these young couples, right? So if you were going to give any type of marriage advice, what would it be? Speak to the men first.
I don't know, but every morning before I leave, her and I pray together, and never did that up until a few years ago. But you can tell what's on each other's heart by when you pray together. But we never did that before, ever. That's just something new in the last couple of years that
Yeah,
we.
but it's good. You could give advice. Young couples can start it early on.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Other.
I think you got to realize that life is not easy. It's not. I mean, it's not a bed of roses, and you have different tragics in your life, traumas, but you also have a lot of good things. I mean, we're blessed with 2 kids and 5 grandkids, and you know they're all healthy and all. I mean, but
They're
there's
all
still
straight A students.
Grandpa's proud.
Yeah. Yeah.
But that's, but there's times when you are financially short, you know, or struggling money-wise. There's always those times that you do, are living by faith. Yeah, and your extended families nowadays, or well, all days, they were that way when back in the day. But you have extended families you're dealing with, and in-laws, outlaws.
Yeah, no, for sure. Yeah. So if you could give advice to the people that are trying to figure out church, you know, because I think there's attending and I think there's belonging. And you guys have talked about belonging. You belonged in most places that you were. What could people who are attending, what helps them understand how to belong, how to be a part of something? Because it should be hard to leave. You know, like when you're saying, it's, regardless what happens in a church, God moves us on sometimes, and that's okay, you know, but the way the church is designed, it should be hard to leave. You should feel like you belong, and moving is difficult to do, even if God is moving you on.
I think the big thing is finding somebody to walk along beside would probably be the biggest help that a person can find. Not everybody's alike, but it'd be a big help if you could find somebody that had like situations. But finding somebody strong that you can just mentor or be mentored by. I hear great things here. I really do at Life. you know, and it's just, like I said, I like to sit back and listen and wait. When the word comes, you know, it's, I might be the guy who gets up and runs down the aisle someday and does a cartwheel.
Yes, I can't wait.
Does a cartwell.
What
That's
service?
tough.
What service
Wow.
are you in?
First.
Normal.
Mostly first.
Okay. I'm gonna be looking.
I'll probably be fainted in my seat, passed out.
That is awesome.
Yeah. I think, you know, it's a hard, you look at denominations, and I don't want to put down denominations, I won't, because that's what we went to for years, but you get to the point where they're thinking more about the denomination than they are the relationship with God. And when we moved to a non-denominational, I don't think we could go back to a denominational church. And the position I'm in right now, work, there's no church in some ladies, and there's denomination, and then you have ones that are, they think there's a God, but maybe not.
Right.
But yeah, like I said, I'm not putting down denominations. I don't have anything. I was a Church of Brethren for years, but I think that knowing that you're having that relationship with God is what you do. You want to have that relationship.
Right.
You're not just going to punch in and punch out your time card.
Right. Jennifer, you got any questions that ended up with since
Well, I just keep sitting here thinking, and I don't know why I've never asked this question before, but it's like, what are you hopeful for the future, or what are you praying for the future?
I don't know what that brings, but I'm open to about anything. I'm getting close to retirement age, and I'd like to work 5 or 6 more years if my health would hold up, but who knows? Yeah. But it's just like her dad and mom. He retired early, and I asked him, I said, what are you going to do? I mean, you don't have any hobbies or much? And he says, well, Mom and I is going to get up every morning, and we're going to see who we can help today. And I thought that was
that is cool.
and that's what they did. I mean, they went to all over the country.
Hurricanes,
Wow.
earthquakes, Red Cross,
Wow.
down to Kentucky to a church
Yeah,
school.
that church in Kentucky, I think, is where our group went this last. They went down there and served for 6 months. Just
Wow, that's awesome.
we just witnessed a lot of things and it's
Yeah. So just being available.
right.
Yeah, that's cool.
But there's no set plans as of now. It's just
Yeah. Okay.
I have a little bit more of a younger, I want to continue to be active in just life. We do a week every summer with the grandkids. It's called Camp Marshmallow.
Oh, wow.
And
Why is it called that?
that's just what they got, Marshall to Marshmallow. But we have been to Pigeon Forge, and we've been to Kings Island and Sierra. But I'm not going to let it get boring where we're going to be sitting in our recliners. We want to do stuff. I want to do stuff. I might be doing it by myself.
I kind of like fishing in the neighbor's pond myself.
Yeah. Yeah.
Or your recliner calling your name.
Yeah. Good.
But,
Awesome.
yeah.
Okay. Anything else, Jennifer?
I don't think so.
Okay. I mean, I'm just saying we're getting to the end. If you
Yeah.
can believe that, almost an hour in.
Oh my
but-
gosh, yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. So, and again, from Life Church's standpoint, we're just thankful, first of all, for how you guys, volunteer and help. And I'm seriously, I mean, I think it's cool to see people who have went from we attend to we belong, and not at Life in general, just through church. Like, you recognize that there's got to be more, to life. And you've opened yourself up, and age has never stopped you from being available, and
We look at it as we get to go to church.
right. And that's what I mean. I think that's super cool. And that a lot of times as the older we get, the less available we become to the Lord because we're
want
afraid
that.
He's going to ask us to do things. And you guys are an example of, listen, if he called me to do whatever, that you guys would do that. So I think that's a good example for all of us to remember. You don't age out of being available, for God. And the
Not
things-
until you take that last breath.
That's right. Right. So,
Yeah, you hear people say, we've done our time.
right.
That's not.
Right. Yeah, so I think that's awesome. So we're thankful for you guys, and and we will be waiting. So if you're listening, if you're listening, make sure you go onto our YouTube channel so that you can make sure that you get a great picture of this man, so that you can come up
Don't
to him
dare
and
it.
tell him, like, we are waiting for the Spirit to move the day that you're going to run down the aisle.
And do a cartwheel. That's what he said, a
Oh,
cartwheel.
you said a cartwheel?
Yeah.
I did, but I don't know if I can do that.
That's what I said, a cartwheel? I'm like,
I didn't hear the cartwheel part of it.
I could do a cartwheel nowadays. I mean, my younger years, but that'd be something to see. So
Have to do some more healing.
Yeah. So when this comes out, make sure that you like, share, comment. It'll come out on our Facebook. The more you like, share, comment, the more that it'll get on other people's feeds. Make sure they said first service most of the time. Come up and say hi. And again, if you don't know them, make sure you take an opportunity to come up and say hi, get to know. And again, great people, great wisdom, and again, we're thankful for you guys. And I think the great thing about this is more people getting to know who you are. The church is big enough that sometimes it's hard to get to know.
It is.
Yeah, it is hard.
So through these, it's a good opportunity for you to get to know and come up and say hi. So thanks everybody for joining us, and we'll see you guys next week.
bye.